If we were to ask most people to name some famous inventors, chances are they would mention names like Edison, Ford, and Tesla, all of whom happen to be white men. And if you're one of the few who can name some black inventors, it's likely you know of someone from the 20th century like George Washington Carver or Madam C.J. Walker. But how many African American inventors do you know of from the 19th century? One such individual is Henry Blair, whose agricultural inventions earned him recognition as one of the first African Americans to receive U.S. patents. But before we get into the inventions that made him notable, let's take a look at what we know about the man himself. Chapter 1. Meet Henry Blair. Historical documents about Henry Blair's early life are limited, but what we do know is significant. Blair was born around 1807, likely in Maryland or Virginia. Like many African Americans of his era, the details of his family background and childhood are not well documented. What we do know is that Blair was a free man of color living in Maryland by the time he began his work as an inventor. This status was crucial, as it allowed him to hold patents in his own name, something that enslaved people were legally prohibited from doing. Blair worked as a farmer, and it was this hands-on experience with agriculture that led him to identify problems that needed solving. He understood the labor-intensive nature of farming and saw opportunities to create machinery that could make the work more efficient. It wasn't long before Henry applied his practical knowledge and started creating solutions himself. As someone who worked the land, he began experimenting with agricultural machinery, focusing on ways to improve the planting process. Chapter 2. The Challenge of 1800s Agriculture. What exactly was he trying to create? Well, that brings us to the inventions that would secure his place in history. But before we get into that, we need to explain what agricultural work was like in the early 1800s. Back in the mid-1800s, farming was extremely labor-intensive. Whether growing cotton, corn, or other crops, every aspect of agriculture required significant manual labor. Planting was particularly challenging. Each field had to be planted by hand, seed by seed, row by row. This process was not only time-consuming, but also physically demanding. There were several methods of planting crops at the time. One way was to scatter seeds by hand across a field. Another method involved using basic seed drills that had been developed. But these early machines often required multiple people to operate effectively and weren't always reliable. Blair recognized that there was room for improvement in the planting process. He set out to invent a machine that could plant more efficiently and require fewer operators. Chapter 3. The Breakthrough Invention. After working on his designs, Blair achieved a breakthrough on October 14, 1834. He received U.S. patent number X8447 for a corn planter. This made him one of the first African Americans to receive a U.S. patent. But what made his design innovative? Blair's corn planter was designed to automate the planting process more effectively than existing tools. His machine could plant seeds at consistent intervals and depths, which was crucial for proper crop growth. The device was pulled by horses and used a system of mechanisms to drop seeds into furrows at regular spacing. The invention represented a significant improvement over hand planting and even some existing mechanical planters of the time. It could cover more ground in less time and with fewer workers than traditional methods. Blair didn't stop with his first success. On August 31, 1836, he received a second patent for a cotton planter, showing his continued innovation in agricultural machinery. Chapter 4. The Impact of Blair's Brilliance. These patents were particularly significant because they were issued during a time when the patent system was less accessible to African Americans. The fact that Blair, as a free man of color, was able to navigate the patent process and receive official recognition for his inventions was remarkable for the era. However, like many inventors of his time, Blair faced challenges in commercializing his inventions. The agricultural machinery industry was still developing, and bringing new inventions to market required significant capital and business connections that were often difficult for inventors to obtain, particularly for African Americans who faced additional barriers. Chapter 5. Agriculture in Transition. The broader context of Blair's inventions is important to understand. During this period, American agriculture was undergoing significant changes. The demand for more efficient farming methods was growing. As the country expanded westward and agricultural production increased, inventors across the country were working on solutions to mechanize various aspects of farming. Blair's contributions came during this crucial period of agricultural innovation. His work helped advance the development of planting machinery, contributing to the broader mechanization of American agriculture that would continue throughout the 20th century. While detailed records of Blair's later life are scarce, his patents represent documented proof of his contributions to American innovation. These inventions demonstrate the ingenuity and technical skill of an African-American inventor during a time when such achievements were rarely recognized or recorded. Chapter 6: Legacy of a Man. Blair's story illustrates both the potential for innovation and the barriers that existed for African-American inventors in the 19th century. Despite facing legal and social obstacles that limited opportunities for people of color, Blair was able to create meaningful contributions to agricultural technology. Henry Blair's corn and cotton planters represent important early examples of African-American innovation that helped shape the country into what we know it today. While we may not have complete details about his life, his documented patents ensure that his contributions to American agricultural technology are properly recognized and recorded. If you want to see more stories of historic Black inventors, make sure to like, subscribe, and click the notification button for updates on new video releases. This is Innovator's Journal. Thanks for watching.